Hey, you guys, welcome back. It's about time that we talk a whole bunch about the Olympics. Fantastic event. I can't believe that it's been 4 years. Isn't that what you say every 4 years? In any case, it's time to gin up the machine again and have a bunch of really good ski races and hockey and all kinds of stuff. And we are fortunate here at Park City Television not only to be a part of the community in Park City, where we have a bunch of athletes going. That's a scientific term, buncha, and we'll discuss that later. But most importantly, we have a fellow here in the studio who has been a friend to Park City Television, a friend to me personally, and a guy that shares important things about his life. And we all have hard journeys, but dreams are things that can be achieved. And I'm pretty excited to be sitting next to Mark Engel. What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm doing well, Terry. It's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too. You used the word whirlwind. And
I did.
Wow. Tell us about the last 2 weeks of your life.
It's been a whirlwind. I was competing on the World Cup tour, racing slalom all of the month of January, trying to make Olympic qualifications.
Right.
And it came down to the very last race I competed in. Like, I needed to show something. Most of the team had been named already, but I didn't have a spot. And I had a decent race, and our coaches were still deliberating, and I got on a plane and flew back to Salt Lake City, and I landed, and I had the news on my phone, and like 30 text messages.
As everybody else was finding out.
Everybody had found out before I did.
That's so great. That's so great. And our pal Tom Kelly comes on in the mornings and talks about how the selection process goes. So when you allude to racing all of January and this, I don't know, I think a lot of us think of it as kind of a cut and dried process, and in a lot of cases, right, in Olympic trials is a day in some sports where everybody shows up and nobody has a spot, and then all in one day an entire team is selected in different events. But it's not like that for you guys, and I've been thinking about the fact that in some ways that's good, because you have the opportunity to prove over time that you belong to be in the start house. That's also ongoing pressure for all that time. Talk about that aspect of it. I know that you've
About the pressure.
Yeah, and that period of time when you're getting closer to it being that last opportunity and that last time to actually make the squad.
Yeah, for me, that pressure can build up. I have high expectations of myself.
Sure.
And that's what music does for me. Like,
Sure.
I bring my guitar on the road and I play, and it's sort of an outlet for me to be able to change perspective and look at what's going on in here with pressure and see, like, it's all right, like it's okay.
And you made a really beautiful post that was kind of your personal announcement on social media that you had made the team, and you talked really openly about I think things that all of us can relate to, but sometimes we don't hear from the best of the best. And I felt like that was on one hand it was a really powerful thing, it was a really courageous thing. On the other hand, it's like, well, that's totally what Mark would do. And
thanks, man.
yeah, absolutely. Talk about your doubts and about the journey of, you were skiing 4 years ago, you were skiing 8 and 12 years ago, but to be in this position, yeah, talk about your inner journey and your challenges, because I think it's a really important part of your story.
Thanks. Well, so in that Instagram post, I referred to how I was feeling last season, specifically during my competition. I let expectations and things grow really big in my head, and I came to a point of like really kind of deep depression, a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
I'd come home and see my friends and still feel like alone in a crowd,
Yeah.
And it was hard for me to to reconcile like having those feelings but living the life of opportunity that I've had. Like I know people who have been in like much worse situations and like that were more positive than I was. So that made me like kind of judge myself, and I just went down and down.
It becomes a cycle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just I ended up that song that I first played, I posted that on social media and just kind of told everyone where I was at, and a lot of people reached out and just told me we feel the same way, man. That's life. Like, and just speaking about it, not holding it in, was really healing for me. So that's I feel like it's important to talk about, and especially with like the younger generation growing up on Instagram. Like I know these kids like look up to me, and
sure they do.
I just want to, let them know it's okay to like not have everything together, because a lot of our posts are like, look how awesome everything is, and which
Val d'Isere is amazing. We're here, all these places all over the world, and
I'm very grateful for that, and it's awesome. But I just want to, I don't want to put out a picture of perfection. I want these kids to know that it's all right.
We all go through that stuff. Does it occur to you, and I would imagine, and now that you've sort of you've established this vulnerability and this openness, while at the same time qualifying for the Olympics, which is such a beautiful thing, that it's like, well, even people at the highest levels have these kinds of thoughts and private thoughts that are sometimes a challenge to share with people or to get over on your own. Does it occur to you ever, I kind of feel like in some ways what you do, I don't know, it's like, well, I'm this particular way. I'm sure you don't literally say this, but like, I'm a special person that I can be vulnerable like that. And I'm in a position where there's generations of, tiny tot kids that will be watching the Olympics for the first time and going, man, I want to be that guy, like that, the image, the speed and the beauty of skiing and of slalom. Do you feel a responsibility? I mean, I sometimes I feel like I have a responsibility because I get to come to an amazing place every day and be joyful and share gratitude with people at getting to play in a TV studio and do a live television show. But I also feel like I have a responsibility to say, you know what? Yeah, I have hard times too. Sometimes I think about, you're not doing enough in your career or any of these kind of things. Does responsibility enter into it for you at all, or at this point?
It does, yeah. I feel like responsible to put out an honest image of myself. So, Terry, I just gotta say, man, like, thanks for having me on the show, and like, I've definitely looked up to you, like, since I've come in here and been interviewed, and
it's a really cool thing that we have this amazing network, and of course our pal Brandon is here, who's always been super timely when I have, like, randomly when I'm in a moment where I'm having a challenge. It's like that will be the time when Brandon Isbell will be like, what's up, buddy? And the opportunity to inspire one another, and for me, like, I'm from Iowa, like, I'm sitting next to a guy who's going to the Olympics on television. Like, wow,
man,
it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing, and we pay each other forward, I think. Tell me about kind of the nuts and bolts now of what you've got coming up.
All right.
And let's talk about the athletic side. Obviously, you're skiing well enough to be selected. And how's your mindset, and how's your equipment, and what's Pyeongchang going to be about? Like, specifics of the snow there and all that kind of thing.
Okay. I feel like really good entering this event. I feel like since I was one of the last people named on the team, that I don't really have like a lot of too many expectations for myself. Like, normally I do, but now I feel like I can just kind of go there, do my best, and like anything's possible. So I'm feeling good going in. And
Nice, nice.
I've heard the snow can be pretty icy over there, and
Yeah.
that's been a challenge for me when it's like an ice skating rink.
Right, right.
But I've got a really good team around me. I got one of the best ski technicians. Shout out to Marco Scooby.
Nice, Scooby. Super important stuff, right?
So yeah, he'll make sure those skis are working well, and I'm going to race the slalom. That's on the 22nd, and possibly the team event on the 24th.
Yeah. Now tell me about the team event. I don't really know.
The team event's kind of a new event in alpine skiing, and we got each country will put in 2 men and 2 women, and you all go down the course, man versus man, woman versus woman, and
so it's a match race thing.
yeah, whichever team.
Interesting.
You all get 1 run through the course,
Right.
and like if 3 of people on your team win, you move on. If it's 2 versus 2, if it's a tie, it goes to like the next fastest time.
Oh, so it's like a tournament.
It's like, yeah, it
Oh,
starts
that's
off with a
cool.
bracket.
Yeah. Right.
I
February Madness.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll be seeded. I don't know what Team USA will be seeded, but it's a really fun way to race. It's really fair because in the rest of alpine skiing, one person goes down, then another one goes down.
Right.
And so for the guys running later, the course is often slower.
Sure.
But this is head to head. You're both racing down the course at the same time. So as the course slows
Same
down, you're
conditions.
still
That's cool.
competing fairly with the
And
person
so you
next to you.
do like downhill, GS, slalom. How many races?
There will be downhill, Super G, giant slalom, slalom, combined, which is downhill and slalom, and the team event. So for athletes like Michaela Schifrin,
Right.
there's the opportunity to win 6 gold medals.
That's crazy.
Yeah. She's going to race in all of it.
That's like
Well,
it's
yeah,
like historic
for sure.
levels of achievement in a single Olympics.
That would be amazing. She's on fire right
I was going to say she's not
on
only
fire.
a kind of. I think of Roger Federer like in his great tennis years, where it's like, well, he's historically good, and he's really good right now. So it's like, you can look at the long run or the short run, and Michaela Schifrin she's pretty much dialed. It's
Yeah.
cool. So when do you leave?
I'm leaving on Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
You'll be there soon. And then how much time do you have to kind of preview the course?
I'm not entirely sure on our schedule, but we'll be there from the 6th until the 22nd, and during that time we'll be training, we'll be working out in the gym, and yeah.
That's cool.
Getting ready.
And once you're this close to a major event, and I know that in some sports and in endurance sports, a lot of times athletes will almost kind of continue to train, not maybe normally, but closer to normal than you would expect, leading right into the competition. And of course, we always think about football when it's like you have 2 weeks off before the Super Bowl and you get rusty kind of thing. Will you be able to ski enough and just sort of stay in your regular routine?
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. You know, I have this upcoming week off of snow, so I can go in the gym, get strong, get my body feeling
Nice.
nice and healthy, and then
Cool.
once we have that time to train, like I do really well with breaks like this. I usually come back
Nice.
stronger and
Oh, cool.
more hungry.
Yeah, that's cool.
hungry.
So much mental, right? So much mental.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, my friend.
Thanks
Tell
so
folks where they can follow along with you on social media, as you'll be out in front of the whole world doing your thing.
All right. You can find more about me on Instagram at Mark Skis, and you can find more of my music on YouTube.
Sweet.
Just search for Mark Engel.
And what a great thing. We didn't even get into really the journey of your music and your sporting career, but you'll have to come back and we'll do a night like this and just talk all about music, because obviously you sound great. I mean, you're training for the Olympics, but you still got some good tunes in you, which is really awesome. And you come back and do one more?
Yeah,
All right then.
absolutely.
Hey, you guys. Oh, there you are. It's Mark Engel. He's going to be back. He's going to do another tune, and then we are going to cheer like crazy for that dude in the Olympics. We'll be right back.